my experience in studying these people, I find that almost all of those on drugs and deep into it are really lost characters. They're unable to compete in an organized society. They find themselves on the wrong side of the law. They're down here struggling from one fix to another, like the individual who stabbed me because he said, "Give me $20 or I'll kill you." He didn't ask for my watch, my boots. He didn't ask for money. He said, "Give me $20 or I'll kill you." He needed $20 for a fix. He was bleary-eyed. Is that your kind of religion?
No, not at all. We don't use these drugs which are heroin or anything like that. You need a fix. We use drugs which are for knowledge. If that guy had been using marijuana, he wouldn't have stabbed you because he wouldn't have been violent like that.
I'm not so sure about that, but we'll ask our audience to join us in just a moment. Here in Los Angeles, you dial 628-KIEV, San Gabriel Valley 443-KIEV, San Fernando Valley 989-KIEV, South Bay is 835-KIEV, Glendale Burbank 956-KIEV, in the 714 area, dial direct 739-KIEV. Also in the studio, yet to be heard from, of the Sheriff's Narcotics Division, Sergeant Eugene Rudolph. Now, let's go to those telephones right now, and may I caution you, discuss the subject. I don't want any personal attack. I'm not interested in personal attack. We don't bring people on this program and beat their brains out. You'll have to go elsewhere to find that kind of a situation. Okay, your turn to talk back.
Yes. Hi, George.
Yes.
Joe, and I would like to say to your guest that he makes the case for atheism very much stronger. And in reference to what he was talking about in the rich exploiting the poor, I think he is very wrong. You see, each person in this life chooses his own life, and he has successes in his own life. If somebody wants to live in the street, I'm not going to pay anything to help them out. We shouldn't have an equal society, and if you want to use certain things in the Bible, you can say that man was not created, we were created equal, but to be able to do what we want, and we should not have an equal society because we are not all equal.
I feel we all are equal. We are all one. And so why should people have millions of dollars when people have nothing? That is really ungodly. And
why shouldn't they? If they want to. Aren't we, you said we're free, right?
Well, what's so free about living in the street? I would doubt those people would not like to live in a mansion like the rich if they had the choice.
They don't want to do anything. They want it to be given to them. You see, what you forget is the rich people also do work for a living.
I don't buy that.
Oh, no.
I think the rich are on welfare. I don't think the poor get anything on welfare. I think the rich, through the government and through big business, are the real welfare
drugs are affecting your mind. Oh.
All right, now, we'll stay away from personal attack. We'll stay with the subject matter. Okay, thank you. Your turn to talk back to Norm Liebel.
Hello. You know, every day I hear the people in the office that you have on the program, and it's seldom that I can give up my time to get in a telephone call.
You've done it now. You're in.
This man's thinking is so twisted that I can't believe that I'm hearing what I'm hearing. He surely must be a product of the public schools because he obviously has learned nothing about what goes on in the communist world and what they've done to the people, and to set on a radio program and spout about freedom as a Marxist is the height of unbelievability.
All right, you made your point. We'll go on to the next. Your turn. Come in.
Good afternoon. This is Greg.
Yes, Greg.
Vietnam fighter pilot, and you know where I stand.
I take it you were never on pot or under the influence while you were flying over Vietnam.
Let's put it this way. And I've seen the studies. My brother's an MD. I would annihilate a guy who was equal to me if he had taken a toke, as you will. But in any event, I'd like to ask just a couple of questions.
Mm-hmm.
How old is this young man?
22.
How old?
22.
22 years old. 22?
Yeah.
George, come on, can't you get something better on that? But that's
Well, my age has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Well, all I know is that when I was 22 years old, I was pretty damn naive. But and I think the same holds true for you. But anyway, you sound like another guest that calls in occasionally by the name of Art, but I think he's older than you are. The other question was, are you, before you came to the program, I assume you probably took a few, one joint at least,
Bong
right?
hits, as they're called.
I beg your pardon?
Bong hits.
Yeah, did you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I assumed as much. Now, your political positions are rather clear, right?
Right.
And Gosh, I was going to go on further with you, but I don't think you're worth my time, quite frankly.
Well, I'll tell you, I think that what we talk about is definitely worth anybody's time, changing the way we live. If you were in Vietnam, you know that you weren't defending America's freedom. You were defending the rich in Vietnam, and you were killing people because they were fighting for freedom. You weren't killing people because they were trying to overthrow America. You were killing people because they were trying to overthrow the rich in Vietnam. And so,
I see.
you know, I don't think what you have to say is worth my time if you think it that way.
What are you going to do tomorrow?
I'm going to go out to different colleges, and we'll spread the knowledge as we do every day.
Oh, my goodness. George, really? Okay, talk to you later.
All right. Your turn. Come in.
Hi. I don't remember the guy's name. What was his name?
Norm LeBeau.
Norm? Well, I'm not calling because of what for your benefit at all. I'm calling for the benefit of other callers, other people that might be listening here. Because I've taken quite a few drugs myself in my lifetime, and thank God I don't take them anymore. Because I don't believe, like what you said, that you can control the drugs that you take. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, when you're high, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, we do know what we're doing. That's why we get into changing the way we live.
I've taken drugs. And when I'm stoned, I have no control over myself.
Well, we don't call it stoned. We call it knowledgeable because we don't use it to get stoned. We use it to get knowledge.
What?
We use it to get knowledge, so we call it being knowledgeable, not being stoned.
Like frying your brain?
Well, my brain is in perfect condition, and it's been enhanced through the use of drugs because before I was a member of the whole bourgeois society, which believed America was a great society. Now I've been awakened and seen how evil it is, and we need to change it.
So if you don't like America and it's so evil here, why don't you go somewhere where it's not so evil?
There's no place where it's not evil. We're trying to change first here, and so we can change the world.
You're going to change the world by taking drugs.
We're going to change the world by using drugs for knowledge and becoming aware of what God's all about, a truly Marxist way of life.
The problem about this God thing that you have is we do not have any power to find God. I mean, it's not within us to find God.
Well, that's what the drug is there for.
God is there, and He will show Himself to us. We don't need to get high and get mind expansion to find God. I mean, He's there. Drugs are no drugs.
The thing is, the drugs are there and put there by God to give us the knowledge of God. If we didn't have the drugs, we would have no way of reaching God.
No, but you're putting God on the same level as drugs.
No, we're putting the knowledge of God in the drugs. That's what the drug is about. We don't take them for fun and games. We take them for the knowledge of God.
You're not even listening to me. I said that you need the drugs. You say you need the drugs to find God. God is more powerful than the drugs and more powerful than anything that you can even imagine. And yet you're saying you need this little petty earthly substance to find a supernatural being. That's ridiculous.
No, it isn't, because who do you know that really has the knowledge of God? Who do you know that has taken the knowledge of God with the drugs or without the drugs and has become aware of the need for a different way of life where we all really do live equally?
Did you hear that I've taken a lot of drugs?
Yeah, but you told me that you don't believe it anymore, and so obviously you never had the knowledge of God through the drugs. You were using it the wrong way.
God, before I took the drugs, I got away from God because drugs and God just don't go hand in hand. I mean, I know a guy that was so into drugs that he ended up killing himself, jumping in front of a train, clutching a Bible.
Well, that shows you how misguided the whole Bible is. We don't believe in the Bible.
You are misguided. You cannot think clearly when you're on drugs. You cannot drive correctly. That's why it's illegal. You cannot think straight. You can't sit in a classroom and learn. You can't read a book when you're on drugs. I mean, how many times have you sat there and got stoned on pot and read the Bible?
Well, I tell you, when I get high on pot or knowledgeable on pot, I use it to read Marxism. I don't use it to read the Bible.
You don't need to read the Bible.
I don't believe the Bible is anything worth saying. It tells you that you shouldn't eat of the tree of knowledge, and that's what these drugs are, the tree of knowledge, and so we don't believe in the Bible.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much. You've made your point, and congratulations on having a clear head at last, huh? Thank you. Incidentally, here is an editorial here in the Herald-Examiner. Should marijuana have a higher priority in California's war on drugs? A state commission on narcotics, whose members include 8 California police chiefs and sheriffs, said yes last week. And among 80 suggestions for fighting drug use and sales was a recommendation that the penalty for possession of up to an ounce of marijuana be increased. Attorney General John Vandekamp generally praises the report, but to his credit, he does not agree the marijuana penalty should be harsher. The possession of up to an ounce of the drug is now a misdemeanor, punishable by a fine of up to $100, but no jail term. Before 1976, when the legislature decriminalized possession of small amounts, possession of marijuana was a misdemeanor punishable with up to a $500 fine and or 6 months in jail. All right, so much for that.